Okay, I'm making the tutorial for my famous poppy seed cake. What you will need is a box of Pillsbury hot roll mix. It's usually in the baking aisle, maybe on a top shelf, or around the pancakes or the bisquick. That's pretty common to get there. Follow the directions on the back. Let me see. Use 1 egg, tablespoon of butter, cup of hot water. And it comes with a yeast packet. You mix it in there. And I add about maybe a cup of sugar or less to the dough. You don't have to. I don't know what it tastes like without it, but you don't have to. Most important part is solo poppy seed filling. It's very hard to find around here. I found it at Albertsons. I had to dig to the back of the shelf through all the other flavors like apricot and almond and whatever. And I was lucky to find some in the back. It was $5 for this little can, but you need 2 cans. Because this makes two rolls. Your egg, you need the rolling pin, flour, and some butter. Alright, I'm going to pause it while I mix the dough together. Okay, so now the dough is made. Put some flour on the table, and you're going to knead the dough. If you don't know how to knead dough, you go like this. Keep just folding it back in and out. Make sure all the yeast and everything is all mixed good. Might need a little more flour if it's too sticky. Alright. Time to pause it. I gotta knead it some more with 2 hands. Okay, now that I've kneaded it for probably 5 minutes, you want to cut the dough in half because it makes 2 loaves. Put one over there. I need some more flour so it doesn't stick to the table. Making a nice circle like that. And I'm going to roll it out. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done rolling it. Okay, now it's rolled out somewhat into a circle as best as I can do. Remember to keep putting flour on the top and then flip it over and, till you can roll it out so it doesn't stick to the rolling pin. I'll put flour on the rolling pin too. Now I'm going to put the poppy seed on. Okay, so now I'm spreading the poppy seed. I try to go around the edges first to make sure they're all covered, otherwise it'll just be, dough if you don't get the whole thing covered. So just take a little scoop at a time and gently spread it on here till you get this whole thing done. Alright, that's what it looks like when it's filled with the poppy seed. I don't know the measurements, but it's about almost the size of the wooden part of the rolling pin, not the handles. Maybe a little bit. Whatever. Alright, now this is the part where you have to roll it up. Let's see, how can I do this? I'll start it. You just start at one end. I wish I had a stand. Well, you just roll it up. Let me see. Maybe you can see it this way. And there you go. It's all rolled up. Then you put it on the cookie sheet, and I spread spreadable butter on the top of this thing while it cooks. Okay, now it's ready to go in the oven at 350 degrees. I did spread a little bit of butter on it. I'm not sure if I do that all the time or not. I'm getting old. But definitely when it comes out of the oven, I put more butter on it, and then I sprinkle the sugar on top. But yeah, if you want to put a little bit of butter, and I'll tell you the time when it's done, because I really don't time it. I can gauge by actually looking at the bottom. I use the spatula and lift it up, and if it's tan brown on the bottom, then it's done. The top isn't gonna be as brown because the butter. So I'll time it. But if you have a brand new oven, it probably cooks in half the time that it does in an old oven. So you just have to keep an eye on it.